In this video, I'm going to be looking at a magazine that I have in my collection. This was from GMT. It's a C3i Magazine number 14. So this was quite a while ago. I think it was in 2002. Yeah. So as you know, this is a house organ really for GMT games for the most part. And there's a lot of content when they do release these. And this one, usually they have a game in them. And this one does have a game called Lonato, which is a Napoleonic game from. It covers an early battle of Napoleon, July 31 through August 1st of 1796. So you got a counter sheet, which most of these counters are for the game, for this game, and you have a decent sized map sheet. It's not, what I call a full size map, but this is it right here. And it's got Lonato and Castiglione on different corners of the map. So it's fairly good game. It's Richard Berg's system called Triumph and Glory. I think the system might have been Game Players or something. I can't remember the system. I just made that up. But anyway, this is the original game that I have, Triumph and Glory, and it has a number, I think 5 Napoleonic battles in here. It's fairly quick playing. I believe it uses chit draw to activate formations and things like that. And then another one in this entry came out in Borodino. I might have some coverage on this coming sometime on these games, but this is the system, and I think it has been picked up by another game designer that's kind of carrying this system forward with many other battles, and I don't happen to have any of those. But this issue of C3i had that game for Lonato Castiglione, so I think it's worth getting. It's at C3i number 14. So this one, I know on the secondhand market, I've seen it reasonably priced. It also has some other content in here for Army Group South, which, is not a game that I play. I think there's an article in here for a short article regarding, it's a Central Powers victory in the basic scenario. This is for Paths of Glory. I do have that game. I'm not overly interested in that article. There's some simple great battles of history stuff in here, but there was something really unique. I wish they would do this again and duplicate this. I can't find it anywhere, but in the great battles of history section, they put in a timeline of the various battles going through history, and then in bold print they would put the name of one that's actually covered in one of the Great Battles of History games or one of the modules that they released in C3i. And you can see that it continues onto the next 2 pages, and then it continues onto the next 2 pages, and it continues further. So it is a long timeline. And let's see where it starts is, I'll try to get the start dates here for you. Timeline of the Mediterranean, it's called. So it starts in 1193 BC. Trojan War ends with the destruction of Troy. Of course, at the time, they didn't really have a game on that. The oldest game here, one of the older ones, is in 490, Marathon, which I believe was covered. And it goes all the way down to into AD, I believe. AD 69, the year of 4 emperors. So of course there was no game on that, but there are a number of these are in bold print that have the game. And of course the problem with this is that this magazine came out in 2002. So Hoplite wasn't out, Chariots of Fire wasn't out. I mean, there were a number of games in the Great Battles of History system that hadn't been released. So there, even though those battles are likely on this timeline, they're not bold printed So you would have to kind of go search for them and maybe bold print them yourself. I just wish that they would update this timeline so that it would be current with all of the Great Battles of History games, including the Alexander ones too, for that matter. I think it would be really a nice touch if they could do that. But it's one of the things that I really liked about this is ascertaining where you are in the stream of time with these games. So that's C3i number 14, and you might want to pick that one up if you have any interest in those two little features that I shared. And I hope you have a great day.